Good afternoon, welcome to another video with a guy and his projects. This is the third time I'm trying this intro because I keep getting interrupted, but we're going to get there. Today we are working on my wife's 2008 Dodge Grand Caravan SXT 4.0 liter 62 TE transmission automatic. I believe I'm a very strong believer in preventative maintenance. Maintenance is key. If you want something to last, you got to treat it like you want it to last. And what we're doing today is the automatic transmission fluid. Not only are we doing a change, okay, that's something standard, but we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be adding on a new oil pan which has a drain plug for the purpose of being able to drain the fluid without having to take the pan off. Now, before you get all upset, yes, I know the idea behind changing your transmission fluid is you drop the pan to change the filter. However, if you're like me and you want to keep that fluid nice and rosy red, then you don't need to change the filter every time you drain the fluid. If I want to drain 5 quarts of transmission fluid every other oil change, that's every 10,000 miles. There's no need to change the filter in my mind every 10,000, which means pulling the pan off, putting a new gasket on, putting the pan back up is just a huge hassle. Or you can buy one of these pans, get a drain plug, and you can then just pop the drain plug, drain the fluid, and fill it back up as many times as you want. Yes, you're still going to want to pull the pan down every 50,000 miles or whatever the manual calls for to change the filter, but just if you just want to keep your fluid clean, drop a quart, put in a quart every so here and there, or just drain whatever's in the pan, fill it back up on a regular basis, then this pan is for you. So we bought this. This is going to be linked down below. All parts I used today will be linked in the description below. Check those out. Help me out. Click on the links and buy something for Christmas or whatever you want to buy. So we're going to be changing the filter, putting in a new pan. Of course, yes, we're putting in a new filter. And so you guys have been asking, a lot of guys in the Facebook groups have been asking me to do a video on the fluid and the dipstick for a long time. I've been trying to do the fluid for forever, but the first pan I received took 2 months to get here and it was all bent up, so I sent it back. The seller took care of it, sent me another one, took another month to get here, and it finally got here. Now I was actually scared because it came in this box with a big hole in the corner. I was like, man, 2 for 2, but actually the pan made it just fine, so we're good. So sorry it's taking me so long. We're getting there. At this point in the video, I don't know if I'm going to get to the dipstick or not. I might do a whole different video just on building your own custom dipstick to make this work, but we'll see. No promises on that yet. So we're going to do that. Oh, we also have our new gasket. That aside, and of course we have our Mopar ATF4 transmission fluid. According to the service manual, we can expect about 5.5 quarts out, so I bought 6 quarts. You can do this on the ground. It's just much less comfortable than in the air. I can't even get this all the way up, but I can still sit on this bench while it's up, so that is what I'm going to do, plus it gives you a better view. Let's get started. So this is your pan. To start, it's going to be pretty simple. We're just going to pop out all these bolts. There's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 unless I miscount. But what it's going to look like when we're done is, theoretically, this one will go up, and as you can see, the drain plug right here will be in the middle of there, and you can just drain. It's not the lowest point, which doesn't really thrill me, but it's low enough that if you're just keeping your fluid rotating, it'll be fine, and that's all I want to do. I just want to rotate my fluid. So let's put the pan over there, and we are going to find some kind of a pan to support or catch the fluid. So I just grabbed a 1/4 inch ratchet with a 4-inch extension and an 8mm socket. So we won't need the pan quite yet. Just gonna bust all of these loose. And last one. Okay, so when you pull this off, you want to leave a couple bolts in just to hold the pan so it doesn't all fall down once you bust it loose, which we'll have to do shortly. I'm actually looking at this, and I think this is the factory sealant, so this has probably never actually been changed. So this could be interesting at 140 some thousand miles. So anyway, what I was saying is you want to leave some, pretty much the lowest height of the pan is what you want to drop. So we're going to leave these 2 bolts for last, so that hopefully as we undo this, it drops this way and all of the fluid will drain out towards the front, or the rear of the vehicle, I should say. For the record, I'm not a mechanic. I don't know what I'm doing. This isn't a DIY on how to follow the service manual. This is a guy in his projects, Jeremy Moore, changing the transmission fluid. This is how I do it kind of video. So do what I do at your own risk. Follow me at your own risk. So if you're lucky, you can find a little jut out spot to grab and rock it back and forth to peel it loose. No such luck would be had with us, so we're gonna have to grab a little flathead of sorts. So keep in mind, this is probably gonna come squirting out when it finally busts loose, or it's gonna barely bust loose and we're gonna have to peel it loose, which is typically cleaner. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, we busted it loose, and there we go. Oh, yeah, let's not do that. Okay, now we're gonna let the majority of this drain. It is nice and red, that's promising. I like seeing the red color, that means it's not toast yet. Okay, there's that. Okay, so from here we're gonna grab a T20. Here's a T27. Let's see if it'll fit. Nope. No, it's not a T27. Money, so T25. So you got 1 bolt in the front of the transmission pan and another in the rear. All right. Take this one off without losing it. Don't lose it. Oh, there we go. Give it some wiggle action. And it comes right out. So now you're gonna need to look at your tray, or at the bottom of where, or the top of where screw it, I can't talk. Now you look at your mating surface where the pan's gonna be. It looks like all my silicone came with the pan, which is fantastic actually. Looks like there's a couple spots I can clean up, and other than that, it looks pretty good. So my cleanup is going to be relatively quick. Yeah, that's the cleanest RTV that's ever come off. I don't know if that was the Chrysler original or if somebody did redo this. I don't really think so because the pan looks like a perfect freaking bead, so I'm guessing this is original. But I'm just gonna go with it. Let's get our new filter. Okay, so there is a ring. That ring I've said right here. My new one did come with one similar, and I'm guessing that's gonna have to come off. So let's try and pull the other one off. There we go, come on now. Boop. All right, that fell out. I think we're gonna do, that came out so hard, we're gonna dip this in a little transmission fluid first before we shove this one up in there. This is just the new one. If you can get your thumbs in there around the pickup tube. That's what you call tight fit. Let's see if that'll suck in. Nope. Doesn't want to suck in that way either. Oh wait, there it goes. Just had to do a twisting motion with the filter. Oh, sort of. If you're reusing your pan, you'll have to go through, I'll link some gasket scrapers below, and you're gonna have to get rid of all this gasket material to put new material, okay? Now, if you are not reusing the pan, you still need this magnet that's in here. So you're gonna Grab that. Ooh, lovely. Okay, you want to clean it. All that is metal shavings, just random nastiness, and there's actually quite a bit. And we're just going to clean this up nice and pretty with some paper towel. Don't be scared by metal shavings. That's what happens. You got a lot of metal on metal in your transmission. That's the whole reason they put the magnet in there. I've seen some pretty built up magnets. Okay, so once you have this all decently nice and clean, like so, boop boop. Yep, now my hands are metal shavings. Okay, so once you have that all done, you're gonna grab your new pan and you're gonna put this right here in the corner, right where you found it out of the other one, just like so, and that'll be your collector. Also make sure you can remove your drain plug. So the drain plug on this one, you guys are sideways, aren't you? Sorry. Too late now. So the drain plug on this one, they had so much paint on the heads, I actually had a really hard time getting the plug off of my socket after I pulled it off. So I went ahead and I pulled a used one that I had sitting in a used bolts bin or a used parts bin, and I put this on there because it's a lot cleaner, a lot easier fit on the socket. Put a new crush washer on, but you do want to make sure that comes off before you stick this up. Otherwise, you know, if it's welded in there somehow, it kind of defeats the purpose of having a drain plug. So now we're going to take our pan, which I cleaned all the dust out of. It's got the drain plug, the gasket, and this gasket. So now we're just gonna bolt this right on up without dropping it, preferably. Okay, so you're not gonna be able to clean up all the transmission fluid dripping because it just drips too fast, so just deal with it. Oh well, so sad. You're gonna stick the gasket up there at the pan. At this point, you're not gonna wanna let go because you'll lose all your fluid. And I should have cleaned up the gunk off of some of the screws first. So you do not want to puncture any new holes in your gasket, so go ahead and pull it away. I'm just going to put this in like 4 threads just to help hold it. Same with the bottom. I want to pull it away just to stick the screw through, just to make sure I am not popping a new hole in the gasket and the gasket is lined up. Okay, again, just a couple threads. Now we can theoretically let go. I'm not tightening any of these, I'm just getting them all started. Okay, so now I'm just going to snug these. I'm not tightening them, I'm literally just snugging them. Okay, now we're going to torque them down to spec. So that's done. You're going to go ahead and torque down your drain plug until your crush washer crushes. Typically between 18 and 24 foot-pounds, give or take. For us, that's right there. That's when it crushes. So if you don't have a way to measure the liquid level in the van, the fluid level, this is a painstaking way that you can do to get a pretty close idea. I think I'm on camera. We just got a 1 quart measuring cup, 4 cup. We're just gonna dump this and measure and see how many quarts we pulled out. That's 1 quart, 2 quarts, 3 quarts, 4 quarts, 5 quarts. So for us, that came to about 5 quarts and 3 cups, so pretty close to 6 quarts. Especially when you consider the fluid left that I spilled and splattered and stuff. We're not going to dump in exactly 6 quarts. We'll probably do 5 3/4 and we'll check the level. But if you don't have a way to check the level, then that's what I would do. I would measure the exact amount, pour in the exact amount. Now when you do that, so from my understanding, ATF, automatic transmission fluids, expands and contracts dramatically with heat. So if you're going to do that, you have to make sure that everything is the same temperature. Your old fluid is the same temperature as your new fluid. So for me, that's exactly the case. This has been sitting in here since the morning, and my new fluid has been sitting in here for 3 months. So they are the exact same temperature. But if your van was hot and your new fluid is cold sitting in the garage, then you can't do that because it's going to expand and contract. So us, this temperature, that temperature, all the same temperature. We're going to do 5 quarts and 3 cups, and we'll go ahead and do that now. So first thing you got to do to fill the transmission fluid up is obviously lift the hood. All right, so to fill this transmission, this is the 4.0 liter V6. It's not the 3.6 Crap Star. It's the 4.0, which is second to half Crap Star. So you'll see right down here, it's kind of hard to see, I know it's dark. There's a little tiny black cap. This guy right here. Essentially you have your coolant reservoir for your radiator. If you follow that down straight out in the middle of nowhere, there's this little pipe sticking up with a little tiny cap. Oh, that's going to do a quarter twist off. And there's your cap, and it's going to say dealer use only. So consider yourself a dealer today. I don't know what you're dealing, but you're dealing. Now we're just going to take a funnel. I think most of my funnels should fit. This one's going to be the easy one because it sticks up so high and it fits so great, but I need to clean it first. I just wanted to make sure it would fit. Just took some of the old fluid and ran it through there to wash the dust out into the recycle can. Worked out pretty good. So now we have a funnel and 5. I'm only pulling 5 of these quarts out because this will be a reminder when I get to the last one. I need to be careful and not dump the whole quart in. So we're just going to dump these first 5 in and then go from there. And I will, of course, link all this stuff down below. So now we are on our 5th quart, and we're only going to do 3/4 of the quart because we only pulled out 5 quarts and 3 quarts. Oh man, I just spat that everywhere. That's about 12 ounces left, another 4 ounces. Yeah, it's about 9 ounces left, so we'll just do with that. And we got approximately 8 ounces left. Funnel is gonna have to come out and get all cleaned up. And then don't forget to put your dealer use cap back on. Just gonna stick it down there and quarter turn. Nice and snug. Boop. Alright guys, so aside from checking your fluid, that's all there is to the transmission fluid on the 62 TE transmission. I believe this is applicable for pretty much anything with the 62 TE, a myriad of years. I know this van had it. I think some of the Chargers and I don't know what all, but a lot of different vehicles have it. So if you got the 62 TE, that's how I do it. Doesn't mean that's how you're supposed to do it, but that's how I do it. Check your torque specs, buy the right filter, buy the right pan. So the pan is huge for me because now, so what I'll do is every couple of oil changes, I can just pop that plug, pop the oil plug at the same time, fill them both back up, and yeah, I mean, you can keep that fluid clean. You're still gonna have to drop your filter every, whatever, 50,000 some miles, but in between that 50,000 miles, you can keep your transmission fluid nice and clean with very minimal effort. And that's where I'm at. So I hugely recommend that pan. I think it's going to be fantastic. I'll link it down below. I'll link the fluid down below. I'll link the gasket down below. I'll link everything I used down below. So check those out. Also, if you guys have any interest in helping me financially, aside from the Amazon, I have my email in the description below for Zelle, as well as my PayPal information. So if you guys want to keep seeing these videos, help support me, help them keep coming, and I'll keep posting. So remember, I'm not a mechanic. Follow me at your own risk. Do what I do only if you are willing to destroy everything in your life. So thanks for watching, guys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll see you later. So something I should mention now before this video goes on. So if you want to learn how to check your transmission level with the makeshift dipstick, or even make yourself a custom dipstick, I'm going to have a video coming on that relatively shortly. I've been waiting to get this pan in. I wanted to make sure the pan fit, wasn't different depth. If I had built my custom dipstick with the OEM pan and this new pan was deeper or more shallow, then you would have a false reading and all that would have been a waste of time. So stay tuned. Now that I got this pan in there, it is the same depth. I can tell you that. It's identical, just has a drain plug. I'm going to work on a custom dipstick. That'll show me the level when I need it, and maybe even make a simplified chart instead of the stupid papers. Dorman, not stupid, they're helpful, okay, but they're inconvenient. Instead of the inconvenient charts that Dorman sends you with their dipstick that's 18 feet too long. So stay tuned, that's coming. That's not in this video. This is just changing your fluid, filling it back up with how much you drained out. I have that coming soon. I'm gonna work on it. But yeah, we'll see you guys later.